Yo, what's up guys? We have the balance patch, so therefore of course we're going to be playing with the units that are balanced or changed or whatever it's called, what come to us does these days. But now we don't stack for a 40, but we stack for a 50, and we can stack all the way up to 250. So you can add 250 speed, which is a lot of speed. But I went for a very special build, because most people would go for, it's like, okay, we're gonna go stacking on the S2. The S2 can do the ignore defense. We gotta go for a lot of crit rate, crit damage, attack, and hit very hard, and you have to be fast, otherwise you don't have the passive on that. I actually went for a full different style. I'll go heavy on the skill 1s, and just spam a lot of skill 1s with additional damage artifacts, and then stacking a lot of artifact damage on this one right here. That is going to be the main plan, plus it is going to be the first target of everyone. So it's going to be 100 resistance, and that is my hidden build to prevent people from being able to kill this unit. So definitely things like Miles skill 2, Assure skill 3, all of those units that are not that high on the accuracy will struggle with landing any of those defense breaks or stunts on this. And that is going to be the game plan. If it's really good or not, you will see in the clips. I did have a little bit of a bad RNG session, so I took out the clips where at least it looked like a little bit of winning, except that second match. If you want to see some bad RNG, check that second match. It was not the worst of RNGs, but it was not as long spread out where I just tilted for like 3 minutes straight. But you can see what kind of issues I had to fight with during the testing of this thing. But if she pops off, as we see in one of the final matches, she pops off really hard. And that was actually really insane. It's just hard to get to that stage. So enjoy those matches. If you do, like and subscribe. You know where to do it. And let's get into the matches. Could still go for wounds and stuff. Nope, actually goes for Hagang and Leo. Interesting. I don't think I cared that much about a Leo. So if I would go too hard Leo counters right now, I think I would be in a good spot. Also, the Coco is buffed, but the Coco is buffed in a really weird way, where I think that this Coco set is actually more nerfed than it is buffed. But let's just give it a try. I'm curious to see if it does or doesn't work. Because now it's stacking from your damage that you dealt for your healing rather than a percentage amount. And I think the damage for the counter is going to be less than it was before. So, or at least the healing for the counter is going to be less. Does also have a Ritsu. I'm not going to find that right now. He's not going to fight the Coco. Man, why did you have to remove the Coco? Okay, so it's Douglas against the world. This thing does have a good amount of multi-hits. Could do a decent amount of damage, but my Douglas actually has a decent amount of HP as well. So I feel like I should be kind of fine still. But it's all eyes focusing on trying to kill this thing over here. And they still proc on me. Yeah, that's not really helping. But yep, as I said, all eyes on trying to kill this thing. Okay, this is gonna take out the monkey pretty fast, I guess. And I got stunned. And I get stunned again. Oh my god, man. Okay, at least we can additional turn back, I guess. How do you stun this thing with that? That is a pretty impressive stun right there. Okay, that's just wasting your opportunity for killing it later. You're not gonna get lucky that often, sir. Okay, I guess he kinda does. But then again, you're not fighting... You're fighting the real Douglas. Actually, Siri damage, even when speed scaling ain't there, it's not that bad. Just have to be a little bit careful with this Leo that he doesn't get into a wrong scenario where... Okay, I would have killed on the Sirius one, pretty sure. In the end, worked out. But before we get into the rest of the video, I would like to talk about the sponsor of today's video, showcasing the Huawei App Gallery, because that is something I've been using for the last 5 or 6 years already, and it makes me help this game be a little bit cheaper by getting those packs cheaper. First of all, you gotta follow the steps to create an account, but that is written all over the screen right now, and you can pause the video to check that out. Afterwards, you go to the campaign page, which is of course linked in the description down below, where we have the first offer, where you have a bunch of coupons that you can claim for your first purchase, just getting a little bit of price off, plus they have a few extra this time around. They also have the offer too, but that one is already for last month. However, the campaign is still running for this month, and I think also next month. But if you want to be sure about that, all the way at the bottom of this one, which I'll show in a second, you also have the Discord, which is also in the link down below. If you want to follow anything that they're doing, check that out because those Huawei points is once again an extra cashback that can help you out make those packs a little bit cheaper. Then as final, we have the big one, the diamonds, where you purchase something, you get diamonds, and you can trade in those diamonds for coupons and just making your packs a lot cheaper that way. You can also trade in those diamonds for physic prices, but you have to keep in mind that those can only take part in the region of the campaign itself. If you're not entirely sure where that is specific, you have to join their Discord and you can simply ask them. They're always very active in that one, and you can ask any questions about any of your purchases right over there. So once again, I want to thank the Huawei App Gallery for making my packs cheaper, your packs cheaper, and sponsoring this video. Let's get back to the video. It's unlucky, yeah, man, but the issue is, man, every time I stream, it's like this, right? Like, how often did I sit here and have, like, solid session which made me happy? Been so long ago, man. I don't even fucking know. Laura, a little bit annoying. Wait, is that's the Inosuke, right? Yeah, it is. Okay. Not the worst, I would say. Goes for Miles instead. Was that Tanjiro? I think it's the other one, though. He had the double blade, so pretty sure that's not a Tanjiro. I could go Leo myself right now. It's actually kind of in, but I don't think it's even that bad. Wait, we're doing such weird thing with the Leo on the field right now. I think if I do this, I stun this, it will take an off turn at a wrong moment. Everything is willed, he bans this. I think I can make Sierra move at a wrong moment. How's Ritsu looking like? Ritsu's looking like this. Bit of a lot of stats everywhere kind of style. I think we might have a decent match at this, because if we strip and stun this, okay, regardless, he takes the off turn. You probably go for stun on this, but that is resisted, which is great. Come on, man! And also a final stun on that. Brother, I have such a good draft. I get fired on by this thing, fired on by that thing despair stuns the fire unit, that thing also despair stuns, and I can't play my match. What more can I do? Hagang in the early pick arena. Okay. How's it been going? It's going okay-ish, I guess. We can definitely Tian Lang in here. Megami feels a little bit off. Wait, none of these units have a good kill on Douglas, though. Have fun with Douglas. Here, Asher, maybe, but that's pretty late game. And even then, he lowers in damage, so I don't think that anything has a proper kill on Douglas. What arties does he have? My monkey has pretty good arties. I can show in the next... at the next round. Okay, no despair stun. Who do I kill first? If I kill you first, I think it's kind of GG's for there. So I'm not sure if that is the right play. Let's just do it for the add damage. Oh, now I start additional turning. That is full resistance. Yeah, from here you have issues killing this, you have issues killing that. Fair, I also procced. I think there's not really a point in stripping anything at the moment. Let's just kill you first. Should probably worse against add damage. Okay, so we're looking at 100 extra speed already. I haven't gotten you to max stacks at all yet. Ooh, that's a bad armor break. At least didn't land that. Since I'm already at 100 stack, I think I can hit this. Nope. Nope, there was no ignore defense on that whatsoever. It's actually, I think the buff that should have been for her, like the real buff, would have been that if you you get the increase before you take the turn rather than after taking the turn. I think that would have been the real buff. Okay, we should take that one out and you would have had another turn. Yeah, I think that's, yeah, that would be a really nice buff for her. If she would take the stack before taking the turn rather than after taking the turn. Because then she stacks a lot faster. Like, she just needs anything to stack faster, not stack more. No, it's after. You see like the animation, or like you see the text coming after, right? These guys mostly tend to pull in anything fast related. I could speed contest with this, but that's kind of my only way. Let's just go for you and let's just see. 0-2 and a Gojo. Let's go for you and let's go for you. If she's tanky enough, she can definitely survive a bit. And at the late game, she does stack up where she gets that many turns. And based on add damage, she still does a good amount of damage. That's kind of her idea. Now, someone's asking for my monkey. This is my monkey. Lots of stats, both sides. Ooh, is that Ragdoll dangerous? I think I actually kind of fear you more. Yeah, I think I remove you. Put in a Tianlang. And hard focus the Diana. Expected that ban. Now you need to summon a Zeratul. Yeah, Zeratul is by far strongest unit in game right now, in my opinion. And that's stack number 1. We didn't get the glancing. Was kind of hoping for the glancing over there. Glancing would have been nice. But at least he didn't land neither. I think we go for this because he takes kind of an off turn. Because if he would switch right now, he's in a really bad spot. Like, sure, he could go for the switch, but he would be in a really bad spot if he did. He did just use skill, so resetting right now doesn't really add too much value. So might as well just do the damage. That's pretty bad additional turn, but gives me more chance to additional turn on my end, I guess. Okay, at least we have the glancing this time around. Hopefully we can get some stuns. Great stun over there, I like to see that. We still have a round of immunity on most, so it doesn't have the highest of value to do that right now. If we go for a reset on you, resistance, 1 activation, not great. At least these things didn't proc out, that's already good. See, that's where you can see like her damage starts stacking up, and now we have like... This is where, like, the point where it gets pretty strong, right? And that's kind of the thing that you're waiting for. Let's go for cooldowns and maybe another round of stuns. Another round of stuns it is. Another round of immunity and another round of slows. And immunity not really a necessity. Let's go for this one over here. Now we also have the big speed gap. And then we're looking at 21k. So that is exactly what I'm saying. Like, if she's in the long game... If she's in the long game, she kind of nice. Like, that was a really good long game where she was able to stack. Few additional turns absolutely help. But the speed buff and stuff, and like an S2 21k in the late game, it's not bad. So I can definitely see her value. Does Water Monkey need crit rate? No, you can go attack, but I like crit rate more. I noticed that crit rate definitely does do more damage than higher attack stacking. Because most of the time you go high speed stacking on regardless, right? And crit rate helps more for armor breaks. Okay, we go Monkey and that thing. That is kind of fine for me. Let's go Siri and let's go Josephine. Wait, I did upgrade my Josephine over here as well, right? Not the craziest, but kind of fine. And I think you have a good as one, right? Yeah, pretty decent. Casual day minus 50. Oof. Oof. Okay, definitely value for Tianlang. Everything in here has an attack bar gain at the moment. Then what is my final play? I could go for a Lucia. I think Lucia has pretty high value. Yeah, Lucia is actually pretty nice over here. Veronica, am I actually scared of Veronica? It would lower my cooldowns, but how much do I care about my cooldowns? Because I could also ban out this monkey. No, I think he does this because he's banning one of those two. Oh, he actually banned the Josephine. Did not expect to ban on the Josephine there. Was kind of expecting you to be the counter into the Josephine in the first place, but let's see, let's see. He could go for an S3, S3, and then Siri is pretty much dead regardless. I think that's also his vision. Yeah, that's a lot of damage. Can we armor break this? Okay, good armor break. Could steal this. Doesn't land it, that's good. That's only half. If we were to take an additional turn there, would have been really nice. Ooh, that's kind of bad. Wait, did he just go for... Okay, interesting. Siri comeback. I see the Siri potential. Big issue is, however, that she didn't get any stack as of yet. Okay, can we glance this? Okay, good glancing. Good additional turn. Not worth to go for any other skill than still skill 1. That's pretty interesting choice, I would say. Ah, too bad I didn't lap. Lapping there would have been nice, but he got the additional turn back himself. Which is kind of bad. Yeah, and that capture does do an insane amount of damage. Same for this one. And he did stun over there on 100 res. Damn it. If he didn't stun there on 100 res, I think I would have still had a shot. Maybe we can get a lot of stuns over here. Ooh, that's a good amount of stuns. Miss on this. What? How are you landing that on 100 res every time? My 100 res is not working. You have an S2. Yeah, it's not the 100 res. Like, this thing has been stunned too much for 100 res, mate. Okay, you are probably high accuracy, so I can believe you actually landing your shits, but the others, not really. That damage, though. Holy damage. What? Say what damage? So someone was saying? What? Yo, what? And now we start lapping. 11 Ks per hit on armor break. What? Yo. If she starts getting those turns in, that is absolutely bonkers. What? Yo, that comeback though, that match looks super over, right? She got stunned twice on being 100 res. But the moment she got her shit off, wow. I'm actually low-key tempted to put the good artifact on her. Because I feel like maybe... do I have a replacement for you? Because this artifact is like a perfect fit for her. Like 100%, like... Would be nicer if this was higher. But how much speed are you rocking? 181. It's not an insane amount of speed. Well, with this, you would... Okay, I'm just gonna give it a try, fuck it. Full add damage on you, with more attack. Okay, kinda low on the HP right now. But you get my best artifact I have. Also, skill 1 crit damage on this, it kinda makes sense. It does help out. Brigitte, well, the thing, I hate Brigitte by name, so I still call it the Siri. That is my thing. Okay, should be outspeeding this Okeanos and half HPing it. And yeah, the Wind Twin is on Despair. I rush. Okay, against the pushback, there's not too much protection I can do. Yeah, this should be a very easy win. Yeah, that one even RNG can save your ass. Leo, is Leo that much of an issue? It would make his miles absolutely zero worth. So I think it might hit him harder than it hits me. Because this thing doesn't... Well, it does speed scaling on the long run, but it's not as bad, actually. Well, the slow buff... like, nah, that's maybe a bit part. Like, the slow and the speed buff aren't working as good right now. Or not at all. Do you foresee any RTA changes with this balance patch? I don't think it changed that much, to be honest. Oh, they instantly stung wrong element. They instantly stung the wrong element. Okay, at least we had triple hit on that. Good damage though. Should have actually boosted you up. Because this might stun and then... Oh, well, we just don't activate, that's fine too. Yeah, I'm proccing more than the enemy. Switcher off the buff doesn't seem that bad, but doesn't seem that crazy good neither. Oh, I did just stun that, okay. Well, GG's. Yeah, the Leo doesn't counter the Siri that bad, that's definitely a thing.
Thanks for watching. If you would like to see more guides, join the Discord and check out the content tab for the guide video archive, which contains all of the guides that you might need. Hope to see you there.